Okay, guys, you got the Dragon here. Dragon works. And back on this 1990 Ford Ranger. This was a $200 Craigslist deal. And it runs and drives. I started and drove it here. Starter is going out. It did have a pretty loud valve train tick, but then I found out that's really common for these. But I went ahead and changed the oil like I showed in the last video. Put some Marvel Mister oil in it, and it's already, I can barely even hear it anymore. Now imagine it's been in the shop. This truck has already been started today, but first thing in the morning, if it was outside cold, it would probably still do the ticking noise. But anyway, I left you on the last video. I didn't start it. I just talked about it, gave you a little introduction and all that. So real quick, I'm going to fire it up, let you hear it. It's got a bad whining noise. It sounds like the alternator. I was hoping it wasn't transmission. Could be both. It sounds like a power steering, but it's not. When you wiggle the wheel, it doesn't get loud or anything. But when I come over here to this alternator, you'll really hear it. It's really loud. It's louder than the ticking noise. But again, like I say, ticking noise is all but went away now. All right, bear with me because sometimes the starter doesn't like to engage. I got to replace that. Doesn't sound good, does it? Yeah, I don't want to chew the teeth off of the damn flex plate. But yeah, the ticking's all but went away now. You can barely hear it. Like I say, first thing in the morning it'll probably do it. But man, listen to that alternator line. Man, that thing's loud. But anyway, there it is. So you guys can hear it. All right, guys. So there you have it. Running, driving, $200 Craigslist truck. Can't go wrong. How can you go wrong? Okay, so the dirty on it. Yeah. So I took it for a ride around the block yesterday, and it seems to ride okay. Still gonna do transmission fluid change and filter and all that. Put some additives in that because I know these things have a bad reputation for transmissions. Not just the Rangers, they were in Mustangs, they were in so many different cars, Mountaineers, all kinds of stuff, but they had a lot of trouble with the transmissions. So I'm going to have to spend a little special attention on that. But I did engage the four-wheel drive. This has the Berg Warner 1350 electric, and it acted like it wasn't fully engaging. One time it felt like it was in neutral and then it kicked in, and another time it was trying to pop out. So I got to do some work on that. I got to check and see. It has an electric actuator, and sometimes they're not working right. It doesn't fully engage or something like that. So you can remove them and do it manually, and that way you can check and make sure transfer case is okay. But as far as two-wheel drive, it runs fine, shifts fine. Sometimes it's a little clunky. Like I say, I gotta get that transmission cleaned out a little bit, get some fresh fluid in there and some good additives. But anyway, like I say, I don't know what's gonna happen with it yet. I just got the title for it yesterday, so I started working on it a little bit. Yeah, excuse me, things are a little tight in here. I'm trying to walk around. I got a shop full of bikes, and I'm about to pull this thing outside, let it sit here, because I got some work I got to get to, and then I got to prepare for tomorrow. Got a transmission I got to go do for a guy and a clutch. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with this. It'd be cool to be able to hang on to it, get the transfer case sorted out, Heck, maybe even one day put a bigger motor in, some bigger axles, jack her up in the air, put some mud tires on it. You know, that'd be cool. Do the interior, fresh paint job. Or I get it to a certain point and I sell it to the next guy that wants to do all that work. I would like to paint it though, because like I say, I got to get back in the swing of painting. I haven't done any painting here. And it takes a while to get your equipment set up and get used to, you know, the compressor and the gun and all that. So I'd kind of like to use this truck as an example of what I can do, but also to get a little more practice in. So I'd definitely like to paint it before it goes anywhere. But I don't know, maybe use it for a work truck for a while. Do my mobile mechanics. I'm trying to get a van, but that's been tough deal trying to find a good van. I found out, I was talking on the last video about this gap here and I was worried, but I found out there was some scratches. It looks like somebody caught the bumper on something, and that's kind of what it is. It just bent the bracket a little bit, so I can straighten that back out. And then I also talked in the last video about, I noticed the truck, you can't see it with the hood up as good, but I noticed the truck was leaning real bad to the driver's side. And then after checking all the tires, because there's a brand new tire on the front, that made me start looking at the other tires to see what they were. They're all different, but the one on this front driver's side is actually smaller than the other three. So the truck is actually sitting down. I got to get that straightened out before get too many miles on it. So, all right, guys, I'm going to stop her here. I got to get to work and I'm starting to ramble on. So 1990 Ford Ranger, XLT, Super Cab, 4x4, running, driving, 2.9 V6, $200 Craigslist truck. Can't beat it. Thanks for watching. Dragon says, peace out.